next question is, where does contentment reside? Where is it? Because contentment is not just denying your feelings about wanting and desiring what you can't have, but instead it exhibits a freedom from being controlled by those feelings. In other words, that they don't have a grip on you. The desires for the things that you don't have is not what's controlling you. Contentment isn't pretending that things are okay when they're not, but instead it displays the peace that comes from knowing that God is bigger than any problem, and that, get this, He works them out for your good. You remember Romans chapter 8? You may not understand it. There's a lot of things I don't understand. You know, I love my mommy, but she says there's a lot of things she don't understand too. Well, what's left? Amen? Because He understands everything. And, you know, contentment isn't a feeling of well-being, contingent upon keeping circumstances, like being in control. But instead, it promotes a joy in spite of the circumstances. Paul said, rejoice. And just in case you didn't get it the first time, again I say, rejoice. Rejoice. Christmas song. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel. Because He's come to rescue Israel and us. Amen? Amen. Contentment is not based on external circumstances, but rather on an internal source. So where is contentment? Where does it reside? Where can we find that hope? Where can we find that help? Where can we find that peace? Where do we find the Lord? In our hearts. How many of you ever said that prayer, Lord, come into my heart? Mm-hmm. Maybe you need to say it again. And maybe, okay, I did this recently. I'm not to ask you to do something I wouldn't do. Sister Linda, you'll appreciate this. Margaret, listen to this. I said, Lord, I'm a little baffled right now. Would you come into my heart? You know what I heard? I'm already here. Sometimes we don't recognize that He's there. He's near and present. Sometimes we're so disconnected from the fact that He's with us that we're looking outside of where contentment resides. See, the majority of people in our society is like thermometers that suffer from pseudo-happiness. You know, it's a counterfeit high, and it really quickly vanishes.